Hey gardeners, this is Andy with Wellies. Welcome back to the channel, glad you could join me. So today we're going to do a little project in the garage. Super cold out here, so it's a good time to go in a little bit. But follow me as we look at building a seed planting station, which you can do in your garage or in your house. But first of all, as always, get your wellies. Meet me in the garden. Alright guys, so this is the shelf unit, in case any of you are going to be in need of buying that. This is made by Hypertough. This is Walmart's brand, of course. It's a 5 shelf, it says heavy duty, 600 pounds capacity per shelf. Obviously we're not going anywhere near that. Pretty standard kind of wire looking shelf. When I put mine on, I'm going to have enough room to do 2 seed trays on each shelf. They're 10 inches wide, so 16-inch wide shelves, 10-inch wide seed tray will fit on there just fine. So that's how I have done it before. Including the top, there's 5 shelves. I will at the most probably use 3 of those, and I'll have heat mats. I'm going to show you this process as I go along. Cost on this, I want to say, was about $70. So next matter of business is to put this together. So next time you see me, this will be assembled and we'll start putting all the components we need to start our seeds, and then the peppers that are already going will get moved out here to the garage. Now, as I showed you on the box before I put this together, it says it's a 5 shelf unit, so the top is counting as a shelf. I don't, for storage that's great. I can keep seed trays and all that up there, but usable shelves we've really just got 4, but that's okay. And so what I'm going to do today is set one of these up. I put this top behind here for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to help with the lighting for the video a little bit, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. And the other thing is I'm gonna have to try and keep a little bit of heat in, and you'll see how we'll do that here in just a little bit. But let's get started with the first thing, which will be to attach some lights. And I think what I'm going to do is work from this shelf. So I'll be setting up, the seed trays will be down on this shelf, and I'll be attaching lights up here. That way I can show you the process, and later I can do the other ones. For the sake of time, I'm not going to set up every single shelf right now. I want to show you what I'm using and how we make it work. So I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm using, first of all, I'll start at the top and put my lights on first typically, and then I will work on the heat mats and all of that. So these lights are, I get asked a lot about what kind of lights should I buy. Lights can be incredibly expensive, and if you are growing indoor hydroponics year round, you probably need some pretty expensive, sorry about the background noise a bit here. You probably do need some pretty expensive full spectrum lights, which allow for every growing phase for those plants, including to produce fruit. These lights here are shop lights. Any of you that have been watching my channel for a while know that I last year and the years before have only used 1 light per shelf, and these are 5,000 lumens. So I will tell you that worked. I got some pretty good growth on my plants, and remember that what we're doing here really and truly, let me zoom back out, we are only using these to get seeds started and to get maybe the first few sets of leaves. We are not looking to grow all the way to having tomatoes or peppers out here. This is just going to be to start your plants keep them in a warm place, get them nice and sturdy and ready to start a good growing season. So with these lights, we're simply going to hang them up from the shelf above right here, and I'm going to show you the things that come with that. So each light comes with this chain, actually 2 chains, one for each end of your light. So this little, let me pull that out so you can see it. This little hook here will fit in your light down here in this little slot. So that's basically how you can hang it. The other end of this chain did not have anything on it. You know, it might have come with an S hook. I don't remember, to be honest, but this is what you would use, would be an S hook. Doesn't really matter what size. And you're simply going to put that S hook on there. As you want to move lights up, you just unhook it, unhook the chain in at a different spot. So it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to put one of those up to show you. All right, so I've attached the first one, the front one, and all I have done is move the chain, move this S hook to wherever you want it on that chain to lift it up to the right height for your plants. So that actually might be a little bit high. I've got about a probably 8-inch gap or so down there. I probably don't need quite that much, but I'll measure it when I put the seeds under there. But you kind of get the idea. So as you move this S hook on here, it'll lift this light further down or up as you need to adjust it. So all you're going to do is just count the same number of chain links and attach it like that. Now, a question that you might ask is, why not just do it from straight up here? And you probably could. The only thing that I've found is that sort of interferes with the level of the seed tray for the shelf above. So I try and avoid hanging off here if I can, just because it makes things a bit uneven. I'm going to turn this light on because I think it might help us. We'll see. So we're a little brighter under there now. This distance between the light and where the seed tray will be might be a little bit too far, so I'll probably have to lower it down. These lights are not hot. They emit very, very little heat, really. So that's not a problem if you get them pretty close to your plants. I wouldn't want the leaves to be on the light, but as long as it's lower than the actual frame of the light, you're okay. Okay, so now we have on this shelf we have 10,000 lumens of light, which is really great. That'll be awesome for these seedlings getting started. They're going to need light on them for minimally 12 hours a day, and I'll probably run them a bit more than that, maybe 14. So the next thing would be heat. So let's take a look at some heat mats. Now the mats I've just unrolled, so they're not flat yet, but these will be where the seed trays go. These are 10 by 20.75 inches, which is a standard size for the mats and also for the seed trays. So I will turn these on here just a little bit and let them warm up. Hopefully they'll flatten out a little bit. They certainly will when there's the weight of a seed tray on them. Now off season I keep all of my supplies that pretty much everything I need for these shelves I keep in this box, and so it's got those chains are in here, connectors for different lights. There's a couple of fans here, which I like to use a fan on these shop lights because what will happen if you don't have anything to move those little seedlings around a bit, they will get pretty weak. They just won't develop nice sturdy stems. So usually I'll go ahead and clip a fan on somewhere close to the system so they get some air blowing on them. Now, right now, the pepper plants that I have are still covered and probably need to be for a bit longer because we're about to get a real cold snap here. So I don't really think I need a fan on them at the moment. I think I'll wait, and once the weather's a little bit warmer, it'll be warmer in this garage, and probably still leave them on the heat mats for a while, but I can expose the soil and let the fan blow on it, and I'll just leave that on a timer too. I have several timers, and I will use those to turn lights on and off, and usually when the lights are off, I turn the fans off too. So anyway, I'm going to do a little more setting up and be back with you. Okay, so I just went ahead and put a seed tray on here just because it doesn't have seeds in it, but it's some weight to try and get this mat to flatten out. I went ahead and plugged it in, hopefully that'll flatten out. Now I'm probably not going to move anything out here till tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to see what the weather does and how cold it is in here. So the other things I wanted to talk to you about is you're going to be hooking up a lot of little wattage units. So the lights, for example, are going to pull 40 to 60 watts for around 5 to 6,000 lumens. That's not a lot of wattage. If you think regular light bulb, this one strip light is probably less than a regular 60 watt light bulb. But get a good heavy duty power strip to put all your small things in, because you're going to have timers, lights, heat mats. You're going to have all of that hooked up to it, so you don't want to overload a circuit. If you're getting to where you've got really a lot of stuff on there, and I've never got close, to be honest with you, even worrying about that, but if you have 3 units, 3 shelves full of stuff, then yeah, I'd probably be looking at maybe I need to run a cord to a different circuit for this. So we are working on getting the heat mats up to temperature. I've got their range fluctuating from actually, let's do this. We'll just make that a little bit closer of a margin there. We'll drop that to 74. Oops. So 74 to 76. That should be good. It should be able to get that high. It's just going to take a little while. These heat mats are running about 20 watts, so they're not hot, they're just warm. These trays that are up in here don't have soil in them yet, so they actually would heat faster if there was a little weight on there and something else to retain the heat, like the soil. So it's okay that this is taking a minute. So this is just to give you an idea what you need to get started. You'll need some seed trays, lights, and a shelf. The shelf, you might be able to find those real cheap at Walmart, brand new. This one was about $70. That's not bad. And you got room here to do a lot for a small garden, and even a fairly good sized garden. So you can do it with one light. You can do it with a cheap thermostat. On your heat mats, you even could do it with no heat mats at all if your space is fairly warm. You don't need the fans starting off. I would probably get one once your seedlings don't need the plastic cover on top of your trays anymore, but you don't need that right away. So you can start small. and just kind of work up. Thermostats you can get relatively cheap. This one, I want to say it was about $20, so that's not bad. And this is one you would use for like a reptile cage, something like that. This mess of wires and timers down here, this timer is to turn the lights on and off. The thermostat of course turns the heat mats on and off. I like to plug all those into like different things, so this looks like a jumbled mess, and it is right now, but I've still got a few more things to put in, and then what I'll do is take zip ties and make it much neater. So we'll see that on the next video, because I'll have everything ready to go and we'll just do some seed planting on that one. So guys, I really wish you the best of luck with starting seeds this year. If you're in zone 7, Arkansas is still 7, maybe 8A. They've kind of changed that up in the last couple of years. Right now it doesn't feel like 8A, but you know, it will warm up. That's a good thing. Spring does always come, so it's okay. But yeah, now's a good time to get started. If you got a space to set something like this up, that would be good. I welcome any questions that you have about any of this. Feel free to leave me a comment or question in the description at the end. And until the next episode of Get Your Wellies, bye now.